Oh my god.
Is related to the character section, but let me reiterate that the acting was awesome. Egwene with the white cloaks. Isla, always. Everything Sophie Okonedo did was breathtaking. Rosamund Pike was everything. Daniel Henney was great, especially in episode 5. Zoe gave me
She just straight up showed
about
nipple
actors by their first name really weird me out. Like, that is a level of comfort that you should not have when you're talking about a television show. Like, you have never met these people. Why are you doing this?
I don't know, it's a fandom thing, but I love how, like, her, like, best land performance was the freaking land with
Yes.
the nipples.
Yes, her favorite land performance was Nipple Land.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
full body chills throughout the season, especially in episode 4. Barney Harris was, well, he will be missed. Saying he was the comedic relief does not do him justice. Hamid is loyal. Say what you will about his hair and lack of ears. I want to see Perrin more, but I have faith that he'll get his chance to shine in season 2. And
I just
did a
hope he
great
shuts
job
his
with
mouth.
that scene in episode 1. Other than the fact that
Okay.
It's just like loyal. What? What?
So you'll notice there was a character that, or there was an actor that she didn't mention.
Yeah. I think she does mention him.
She does not. She does not mention Rand. At least not in this segment. Oh my god.
I think that the books followed the source material very faithfully as far
This is very. Wait, what?
Yes, she is claiming that the books followed it very faithfully. A child with Wikipedia could have made a more faithful retelling than this.
Yeah. I don't understand why you guys drink. Oh my goodness.
Like, I am legitimately, I can only conclude that there are two possible answers here. Either she is legitimately paid for this, or she has a mental disorder. Like, that is the only conclusion. Like, if she is getting full body chills from Nynaeve,
Yeah.
what would happen if she saw Petty Constantine as Viserys? Or,
Seriously?
yeah, or Anthony Starr as Homelander. Like, she would
Yes.
legitimately stroke out.
Yeah. Yeah.
the big, broad brushstrokes go. I also think that it understood the source material very well.
All evidence to the contrary. Every piece of evidence that exists.
Yeah,
to the
I think
contrary.
we've quite debunked that.
Shout out to Sarah Nakamura.
Ah, Miss Sarah! Ah!
Clearly, for book readers, an allegory for channeling the one power.
Well, how would that be an allegory for channeling the one power? Because as soon as, Moraine tells them they can channel, it's like, bam, you're channeling. They don't struggle with it. Nynaeve doesn't have a block. Egwene doesn't have to, practice to use it. It's like, bam! There's your weave. If it was a metaphor for channeling, it was a crappy one because channeling doesn't work like it does in the books.
I couldn't agree more. Also, I'm going to ask the question, how does, if you had to draw out a script for this scene, or a script for this episode, how on earth do you come to the conclusion that the first scene you're going to do after the little free prologue you get is a scene that serves nothing more than as a metaphor for the one power? Like, of all the things you need to do and of all the things you need to establish, how do you start with a scene that tells you nothing about Egwene's character?
Yeah, it's almost like there wasn't this entire prologue that was written out that completely explains the magic system, completely explains the tank, completely explains what the dragon is and why he's dangerous. It's almost like that doesn't exist.
Nope, because after all, Nynaeve can push Egwene off a cliff.
Yep.
Which is another thing that pisses me off. If we're talking about the books, and like there was a ritual in which, somebody pushed somebody else off of a cliff into a river, Nynaeve would rage about the stupidity of men thinking with the hair on their chest.
Word.
But no, it's fine.
I know.
Oh my god.
Sharp non-book readers might have picked that up if they paid attention to Moraine's lesson with Egwene in episode 2. It makes a lot of sense that Egwene picked channeling up so quickly because she's had practice. And it makes you wonder if this was some kind of ancient Manetheren tradition that was related to the ability to channel. Rand's
No, it just makes me want to weep for Manetheren, lady. Ugh.
Right. When did Egwene practice channeling?
I know. I was like, yeah, I don't think they ever taught them anything.
Yes, Pips in the comments has an excellent comment. She practiced floating in the water. Channeling is super easy, barely an inconvenience. It's fine.
Yep.
Training is for losers.
Yep.
Also, so let's say hypothetically you were living in a world where, if a woman is going to have magic, it's a very nice thing to have people who can do magic, right?
Yeah.
But if a man is going to have magic, he is going to go crazy and destroy your city, right?
Yep.
So which of those two would you feel like it is more important to identify?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if anything, Rand should be the one that is getting chucked in this river, but
yeah,
fuck it.
existential battle in episode 8 is once again, I'll reiterate, a perfect sign of things to come for him. Rand's fight against the Dark One isn't just swords or the one power. It's philosophical. We get a...
I feel like we've already talked about this.
Yes, we have.
No, it's not.
You don't get to the philosophical point, until you've actually, you've done the physical and you can reflect on the physical. It just doesn't make sense.
Right? I also don't get it because the Dark One, everybody in this series starts by trying to run Rand the fuck over. It is only after Rand has proven that he cannot be run over that the existentialist stuff even starts.
I know, because he has to, he goes and does, I have to do the craziest thing I can think of. I have to fulfill the craziest prophecy, and I'm just gonna, I realize that I'm putting my friends in danger, so I'm gonna go out on my own, and I'm just gonna deal with these people by myself, which is kind of a mistake, but he survives, and then he does the crazy things, and gets Calendar, but, oh my goodness, will we even see this in this show? No, we won't.
No, absolutely baffling. This guy needed a battle so damn bad. He is such a fucking little bitch.
He is.
A lot of cool fights throughout the series. I'm sure Yosha will have his chance to shine in the battle department. Testing up front sets a great tone, and it sets us up for a callback later on when we get a similar confrontation, though it may be a while. And the relationship between these two, Soirain, is straight out.
Oh my god, they have a ship name.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I am just going to say this section right here, she is going to say some shit that actually is an issue. She needs to be called out for because it is absolute bullshit.
Yes.
Spring. A bond like that doesn't just go away.
A bond like that just...
So, yes, I mean, yes, they were pillow friends in college. They were legitimately lesbians until graduation. But a bond like that doesn't go away.
That makes no sense just because the show has established how the whole White Tower are basically lesbians anyways, so why would their relationship be anything abnormal considering what Leonie said and everything, and you're just okay, guys.
Yes, and Pips in the comments is 100% right. This is 100% delegitimizing bisexuality.
Yes,
This is
it
saying
is.
that Moraine can't be bi. And unfortunately, we know that she's straight, both her and Sawan, because they both end up married to a dude. So clearly, this isn't a lesbian thing. However, oh boy, buckle up because she's about to do it.
Yeah.
Unless the demands of the time force it to. And because Amazon doesn't have the same constraint that Robert Jordan was working with back in the day when he was writing these, I think this is the right route to go.
What the actual fuck? Like, Robert Jordan, like, explicitly stated that he didn't like sex. I mean, like, we're talking about that crap in, like, fan fiction. That's why he didn't like fan fiction, because of all the erotica crap. Like, he doesn't write it in the books. It is not there. Everything sexual in the freaking book is, like, fade to black. Oh, my God.
I guess I even take this a step further. She just said that Robert Jordan was too much of a coward, that he actually intended to have lesbian relationships, but didn't because he was pressured by the people of his time to not have it. So he chickened out and
Yeah.
actually made them bisexual. That is a thing that she just said.
I think that is so silly, and it just encapsulates the mindset of people that write fan fiction, that think that it is like they can take somebody's original work and like distort it to their own worldview and make it like mean however they see the world. And it's like, I mean, cool if you want to do that in your own free time, but it's just like representative of a larger problem where people think that like if there's an adaptation of something, it should be adapted to reflect their own view of the world, and that is not the case. I mean, I make the argument like the way I read the Wheel of Time was somewhat disjointed because the library I had up to like the first 3 or 4 books, and then they didn't have like 5 or 6 or something. So I ended up reading New Spring in like after book 3 or 4 or something, and I could tell that like Robert Jordan had written the book later just by the way he had changed the like men and women's roles. Like in the beginning of the series, like there's a lot of traditional gender roles. And then I was like reading New Spring and I was like, okay, there's like people that are like stable hands and grooms and stuff, and they're like women, and that didn't happen in the like earlier books. So to say that she's saying like he would have done this if he didn't, Robert Jordan actually did change as the books went on, as the time passed on. Like I could tell the difference that this book was written later than the other ones just by that. But her point is so invalid. Like it's so wrong. You're so wrong on that. How would you even know? Give me one shred of evidence. If you have any evidence to support this theory, lady, like give it to us, because that is just wrong to say.
Yes, I also love that she talks about this like like the Wheel of Time was the Lord of the Rings. Like I mean, what? New Spring came out in what? 04? Like
Yeah.
we're not talking about the fucking like Salem witch trials here. Like women could get married to each other in 2004. Like what societal pressure was happening?
I don't understand that at all.
This is a straight up lie. This is slander of a dead man.
Yes, it is.
Let's wrap this up by talking about the characters, shall we? Let's start with my favorite character, Egwene.
So,
Who would have guessed?
So, okay. Everybody whose favorite character is Egwene, I'm not going to say they should go on a list. And I have met 2 people whose favorite character is Egwene who was not mentally unhinged. But the vast majority are deeply unhinged. And I'm going to go so far as to say, if you are a progressive, if you are somebody who, you know, has sort of, you know, progressive ideas of sort of like sexual freedom, I need to ask how you square the events of Fires of Heaven, because Egwene in that book is a literal sexual terrorist. She has Nynaeve sexually assaulted to make a point. Egwene is an awful person. Like a
Not to mention that the stuff she does
awful
is tell
person.
Ranrio with like Gwen, is that entirely consensual? Because she can like manipulate that stuff. He can't. Like,
Yes, so the people that really go to bat for Egwene is crazy. But I guess
well, but let's
fucking
look at
don't.
this. If you're looking at judging at something from a progressive viewpoint, it has to be Egwene because like Nynaeve is too much of the mothering instinct. She gets married and gets laid and calms the fuck down, so it can't be her. Like, it can't be Elaine because, like, even though she does girl boss shit, it's like she just wants to marry Rand and have his babies, and she does. And you can't have that because you can't have, like, you know, motherhood. That's not a thing. And I think the problem with, say, Avienda is kind of like, maybe she could be, but I don't think there's enough of her, like, POV chapters until the end. She's got the girl boss thing, and Min is too much of, like, you know, like, a decent, like, romantic partner to Rand. She doesn't do enough on her own to be, like, your ideal woman character. So I could totally see in their mindset how they would see this person, or, like Moraine or Egwene, as, like, the best main characters in this because it fits their ideology the closest.
Let the record reflect. KritterXD's favorite character uses sexual assault to make a point of superiority. Yikes.
She is smart.
And I don't disagree with her. Yes, she's smart. Yes, she is driven. But does she do things that are, like, arguably even good or helpful? Or no? But she also has a huge ego. And she very quickly adopts the same superiority complex as the other Aes Sedai have. And that ends up being really problematic because I think that there could have been a lot less drama and a lot easier and, like, last battle kind of stuff, like, if she would have, like, just not been such a stuck-up, like, Aes Sedai.
I agree with that. I'm going to ask this question in the context of the show, though. Why is Egwene smart in the show? Like, the only thing that I could think of that you could maybe say that she was smart was that she figured out the little fireball thing to help Perrin get out of the sex rack he was stuck on.
Yeah, true
Right.
that. Like, in the show, we're definitely looking this from, like, a book, like, point of view, but in the show, she doesn't really do anything except be a woman.
Yeah, I'm very confused as to what she did that would be considered smart.
Banging Rand in the table of the White Spring Inn. Ugh!
Yeah.
That's when the show lost me.
I guess Pips makes a good point. She was smart enough to train by floating in the river all those times.
Yep.
Pips, it makes another good point. She also didn't eat Rand's pocket strawberry.
Botulism.
I guess purely on the stupidity side of things, she thinks Rand is going to abandon them after Shatter Logoth. She actually thinks the Tinkers aren't morons. She doesn't realize she isn't the one who channeled in the ways. And then apparently she didn't realize that Perrin was hitting on her the entire time in Emmons Field when both Layla and Nynaeve did. So I feel like there's far more things on the stupid side of the scale than there
Alex.
is.
Facts.
I don't know, but apparently she's smart. Like,
Driven to learn, a fast learner, capable, and just super, super great. They aged her up, but that's fine because we don't want this looking like a YA CW show.
can you imagine?
It doesn't, like, for real.
Face?
Oh my god, yeah, everyone go watch that Zach's videos, like, Love Shack edit. Like, he straight up, like, scene matches from CW crap. Like, the shots from this show. It's hilarious. Oh my goodness. And the love triangle, that isn't CW. Like, all the freaking talking in hallways. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Right? I cannot even imagine saying that unironically. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I kind of love that she's the embodiment of, as a woman, it not being a bad thing if you want to follow your dreams. At first, it seems like her dream is to become a wisdom because she loves learning. But then, once the world is expanded in front of her eyes, she realizes that there's so much more out there and she could do so much more, and she wants to do it. Rand, on the other hand, was always a homebody. He is sweet, pure of heart, but also that Two Rivers stubborn that you get in all of them sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you had to describe a character that had no characteristics, like this guy is a stale end piece of white bread. Wouldn't you describe him exactly like she just described Rand?
Yeah, he's
like,
a homebody.
He's nice,
He just doesn't
he's
want
sweet.
to do anything. He's a glorified extra in the show. Come on. He's like man number, there's like, there's 3 glorified extras. Man number 1, man number 2, number 3. I think he's like, in terms of agency and stuff he does in the plot, he's probably like man number 2. If like Matt's man number 1.
Especially Nynaeve. He's always conflicted, he's got a fair amount of angst, and he's just good with the ladies. What can...
So I just want to. She just said that he's good with the ladies.
What?
So of the 2 women that he interacts with, Egwene dumps his ass in the first episode.
Yep.
And then Dana, the Dark Friend, tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Those are his 2 interactions with the ladies.
The ladies.
This woman is not like. If this was sarcasm, I would legitimately be impressed, but I don't think it is.
Nope.
What can we say? He's shown signs of being strong and capable and withstanding some pretty intense tests. Perrin so far is pretty much broody, but that's okay. He's got time. Everything that Marcus...
He's got time. I'm just, I just really hope for the sake of that guy's, like, dental health that he closes his mouth in the 2nd season. Dry mouth is horrible on your teeth.
I mean, does he have time? Like, I mean, how long does he have time before that dry mouth sets in? I don't know. I
don't know.
I need Critter to tell me.
It's like, give him time. It'll get better. It's like, I was like going with like when people were doing House of Dragons with you reviews with me, and I know Peps is going to scream at me in the chat, but like when they're all like, I'm just waiting for it to get good. It's that. I'm waiting for it to get good. I'm like, it might not happen. Like,
regardless, Jesus,
well, I'll just not go there. I know you guys disagree with me, but it's funny that people say that because it's like, that's like what she's saying. Like, I'm just waiting for it to get good.
Yeah, no, I thought Marilyn is exactly right, and you're talking about it as well. You just have to have hope, guys. But remember, it's salvageable.
It's salvageable, yeah.
Her words,
salvageable.
not ours.
Yeah.
Rutherford was given to do, I think he did really well, so I can't wait to see him in season 2, hopefully training with Elias and getting more wolfy as time goes on. I loved Barney Harris's Matt. I can't.
You know what's kind of funny with these like posters is that the posters actually give like a more accurate representation of what they could have done with the one power than the show. Like, it actually looks like threads. It's different colors. Like,
remember, guys? I'll let her finish.
If he was a little bit dark, I think he'll come back to the light pretty quickly because he's pure of heart in the end.
Remember, people, the dagger of Shatter Logoth was feeding off the innate darkness within him.
Yes, that's evil,
direct
not the dagger.
Quote from the show.
Yes.
Fuck this.
And he showed that with his relationship with his sisters. Nynaeve.
Remember, guys, you're pure of heart if you don't despise your siblings.
I know. It's like, why would you have hope for this show when the show is so anti-hope, anti-positivity, anti-any good messaging? Like, ugh.
Is a badass, okay? She's just a badass. She always has been. She always will be. She's stubborn. She's aggressive. She hates the Aes Sedai. It all works. I think she's doing super well so far.
Can we take all of those traits and transplant them into Matt and Rand?
Yeah.
Like if you were to hear that description of a Wheel of Time character, your first thought would be Matt, right?
Yeah, like totally. Matt, definitely. He's like kind of stubborn. I mean, he's a guy that like fight. I mean, it's so funny like like reading his stuff because he's like he just fights like he'll do the right thing because that's just who he is. But he like fights it so hard and he's like, oh, I shouldn't do this. This is so bad. But like, okay, we're just gonna go with you into this trampoline and save your ass. But like, yeah,
I'm legitimately baffled by this.
yeah.
She also cares so much about her people, she will literally risk anything in order to protect them.
Except she
Remember
doesn't
that
in the
time
show.
Right? Remember that time she abandoned the two rivers to die because she wanted to chase Egwene?
Yeah.
Good times.
That is quintessential Nynaeve in the books and now in the show. Rosamund Pike's Moraine? Yes. I was so confused when she got cast because I had only ever seen her blonde and I just couldn't picture it. Then when I saw her and I saw what she did with Weep for Manetheren and I realized this is Moraine now. Golly, now when I read the books, that's who I'm.
That was the most boring take on that scene. Oh my god. Wait for Manetheren. She's like freaking jump on top of a crate or something and telling these townspeople this amazing story of their heritage that they did not know about. It energizes these people. They want to go and fight now because of this story. It's like, it's beautiful. It's like you listen to it on the freaking audiobook and the video you guys made of that with the comic. Like, it's so much more powerful than what we got in this show. This was so boring. It's like they're literally riding on horseback and she's just telling them this story that at this point in the narrative, it's like meaningless because they've already left the two rivers.
I'm baffled by this take as well. It's like she looked up what was Moraine's like most significant scene in the books and then just threw it into the video because.
Yeah.
I'm going to picture as Moraine without fail. She was capable, incredibly.
Didn't she fuck everything up?
How is she capable? I mean, like, she, like, the whole, like, Leandria, like, thing with her and, like, Siuan and the White Tower, she's basically, like, just says, oh, yeah, I fucked everything up, it's all my fault. And she doesn't even say what, like, Leonie did or whatever, like, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, they talk about Moraine like she's such a genius when her plan was, in fact, to eat the dragon reborn at the Dark One and pray like hell for the best. Like, that was her plan.
Yeah, like she's literally holding a knife to Rand's throat. Like, okay, that's so smart. Smartest move ever. And yeah, she got stabbed, almost died, yeah.
Yeah, she got stabbed, almost died, lost the kids, almost got them all killed in the ways, and then did nothing useful at the Eye of the World. Yep. And then couldn't figure out which one it was on her own until Rand told her. Like, my god. This is the smart one? God damn, I'd hate to see the dumb one.
Yeah.
Riven, relatively closed off, but because we got her as a POV character, we got to see more of her personality like we did in New Spring, and it was delicious. I loved it. She is an amazing...
If you had to describe Moraine's personality in this show...
Delicious.
Like,
ugh. That's just like Tumblr, like, crap.
Yeah, I guess I don't think I could describe Moraine's personality in this show at all. Like...
I don't either. She just sort of goes around with this bewildered look on her face all the time. Like, she doesn't really know what she's doing, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm baffled by it.
Lead for this show, and I'm so happy they kind of slightly shifted focus to give us more Aes Sedai early on, because I think she is the perfect focal point.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's almost as if, like, Moraine didn't totally make a point of trying to stay away from the White Tower for a reason. Like, oh my goodness.
I'm not sure what I'm more baffled by. A slight shift in focus, or Moraine is the perfect focal point. Like, you need to pick one of those two things. Those are mutually exclusive points.
Yeah, like, ugh.
And Daniel Henney as Lan is an absolute delight. He's got this feistiness to him that I can't get enough of, honestly. He's clearly physically very capable, and he's got that wisdom to him that I can't wait to see come out even more, hopefully, if he gets a chance to mentor some of the younger ones.
But why would they do that? Because they don't like men or like nothing but like set decoration. I mean, I don't mind the actor that played Lan, like Daniel Henney or whatever his name is. Like, he seemed like he was like one, like the few competent actors were like him. Like, I know Rosamund Pike can do better, but she didn't do a very good like job in this. The Isla of the Tinker Woman and Tam, like, and the little kid that like Matt chases in a really creepy way. Like, they were all decent actors, but like, yeah, he's not right for Lan. I'm just really, really sorry. Like, he's too small. He's not physically imposing. He doesn't look like a warrior. He could be like any other freaking character, but he's not like. He's not Lan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm baffled by this. Like, we've apparently Lan is apparently feisty now. Like, we've gone from stoic and intimidating to feisty.
Well, that would be the perfect word to describe the kind of like sidekick male character to the female girl boss, right? Like, that would be the perfect way to describe that.
Yeah, I also like. Does this seem pretty racist to anybody else? Like, where is Lan's wisdom coming from, other than the fact that he's Asian? Like, I'm.
I know it just totally it does totally play into like the Asian like samurai kind of stereotype, and yeah. I think the whole thing with Robert Jordan too was like he wanted to take those kind of ideas and the idea that the whole world had been kind of shaken like a snow globe and put it back together, and that's why there's like Aiel living in the desert and they're all like Celtic redheads, but like this show totally doesn't do that by creating this like diversity, equity, and inclusion worlds where like everyone is all mixed races everywhere and there's no different culture or anything. Like I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Did get to see him being a great friend to Stepan in episode 5 and 4 especially, and so we're getting some of that, not to mention whenever he needs to.
He's such a great friend to Stepan that they had his funeral in his bedroom.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, shout out to Lan for making those gay jokes that moved Stepan to kill himself.
Yeah. And then also, like, Nynaeve ends up giving him a sleeping draft. Like, I don't know, would you give a guy who is, like, suicidal, like, a bunch of sleeping pills? Like, that seems kind of... I don't know.
We could probably chalk up one more death to Nynaeve's incompetence.
Yep.
He absolutely crushes it. And
like, so long as it is, like, any sense of optimism I had about this show.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Also, shout out to Alana and Leandrin. I think Alana is very lovable.
Did I call it Leandrin Leonie this whole time? I did, huh?
I can't wait.
Oh my goodness.
I guess I'm just very confused how anybody could have any strong feelings about Alana's actor at this point. Like, she couldn't be more of a non-entity.
Yeah, seriously. She had nice tits. Like, that was book accurate.
Yeah, I mean, and I liked Kate Fleetwood in this role. Like, that might be the one thing that I'm able to say positively about this show. But I'm just going to be honest with you. Listening to Critter talk about how great she is actually making me dislike her more.
Yeah.
And
I'm just laughing at myself because I was calling Leandra Leonie. Oh, well. If I only have one, like, fibromyalgia moment in this video, that's all good. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I know I've had more than one slip, so you're doing better than me. Also, how can you be excited about Swan? Swan is also a complete dipshit.
Yeah.
To see what they have her do going forward, and Leandrin in the same way, except she's not lovable, she's detestable, but it's delicious. She is so absurdly unlikable that Kate Fleetwood literally disappears into this character, and I can't get enough of Leandrin, even though I hate her, but I love to hate her.
I'm legitimately liking Leandrin less and less as she talks.
Yes.
Majesty. She could not be better cast either. I absolutely adore her. She's also feisty behind closed doors, but man, can she put that Amerlin seat mask on. Holy. I know this turned into a
feisty behind closed doors. I'm not going there.
But I hope it was also just instructive.
I didn't hear you. What?
I said, oh, feisty behind closed doors. Yeah, we don't know. Go back. We don't need to go back the F Shack tearing grill. Like, please. I don't want to. I'm trying to forget that. Oh my god. I don't know how you guys watch that.
I guess my next question would be, like, she was the opposite of feisty behind closed doors. She was a complete, like,
I mean,
guess maybe I'm thinking
oh wait, no.
doors,
Let's think of like the whole Amerlin seat. Like, was she really like not showing the same like big dick energy when she told like Marie, she's like on your knees, and then they did that really horrible scene with the oath rod where it looked like a dildo. It was so disgusting. Like, oh my god, that made me sick.
Yeah.
Jesus. And informative and helpful for anyone who might have been wondering, how does this compare to the books? I found it to be highly entertaining. I love book 1 of The Wheel of Time, and I similarly loved season 1 of The Wheel of Time. I wish they hadn't been faced with COVID restraints. Episodes 7 and 8 were filmed after Barney Harris left, one of their main characters, and they were faced...
Like, this show was terrible long before episode 7 and 8.
Yes. Like, oh my god. It would have just been so fun if Barney and COVID had never happened or whatever. I'm like, come on, that's such a shit cope. Like, it's salvageable. Those were your words, lady. Salvageable.
Yeah, salvageable. But, and, you know, to make a sports ball analogy, you know, sometimes a quarterback has to call an audible, like, because the defense is lined up the way it shouldn't be. If you call a shit audible and end up getting sacked, you don't get credit for calling the audible. Like, that's not how this works. They called a shit audible.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I totally don't know what you're talking about, but I think I kind of vaguely understand. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. But yeah, okay, it's not salvageable.
Let me run this back.
Run that play by me again.
So, like, okay, so you have a play called, and, you know, if you look out and you see that the defense is going to stop the play because they lined up in a way you didn't expect them to.
Okay, I get it, okay.
You then have to change the play while lined up.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Fair enough. I also find the idea that, like, they could not do a group of Trollocs in episode 1, but they were all of a sudden going to do fucking Helm's Deep in these people's minds in episode 8. Like,
yeah.
Fuck it, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, if it was that big, if it was like budget, or if it was something, there's more creative ways to get around that. I mean, that's what I did with like low budget filmmaking. It's like, you don't have the budget to do decent like CGI monsters, then don't show the monsters. Show the noises that make if somebody gets attacked. Show the aftermath of the attack. Like, show a shadow or something. It might infinitely be more scary because your imagination is going to fill in what you think is happening. But, like, yeah.
Yes, Pips, exactly. Do Jaws, not Sharknado.
Yes, agreed.
In COVID constraints during the filming of those episodes. So when you think about having big Trolloc armies, for example, they conceivably couldn't have that many people on set, so they relied more on CGI. But there's a manpower issue with that and a timing issue.
I can't change the laws of physics.
These things just kind of...
Of all the things to stick in there, why did she do that?
I don't know. But I'm like, oh, so what would we get in that? I mean, which we arguably did get. It's the copy paste, like, blight trees. It's like they did the stupid shitty shortcuts anyways, lady. We got the crap. Like,
This is nothing but copium.
Yeah.
Cascaded, and so in the grand scheme of things, I think, given all of the constraints they were faced with, they came out on the other side with an awesome season of television.
I don't even know what to say to this. Like,
okay.
What do you...
I do not think that word means what you think it means.
Right. Oh my god.
infinitely rewatchable. I can't even count how many times I've watched it because it's silly. It's a large amount, and I can't wait until
Wait.
book reader.
It's like, you rewatch this crap because you think it's good. We rewatch it because it's shit and we call it out. We are not the same, lady.
Yeah. Jesus.
They clearly care about the source material.
Can you imagine saying that with a straight face?
Yeah, I can't. I can't.
Like, I mean, like, this is just a straight up lie. Like, I mean, they very clearly and demonstrably care less about the source material than they do their identity
Rafe, if you
politics.
complain about how we, like, portray these characters, we're just gonna make them all gay jugkins, like that guy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to say they very clearly care about the source material, somebody is going to have to explain to me the Swan Moraine relationship.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
my God.
The arrogance.
And I think they're doing a really good job of nailing the main points while condensing, which is going to be necessary in order to get these 14 books plus a prequel into a reasonably sized series as a whole.
I hope we never see season 2.
How can you possibly argue condensing when a third of the season was new material?
Yeah, you can't. There's no like explanation for that at all.
Fuck it. We're clearly living in a different world here.
I know. It's like I just have like I have no words because I'm like, how do you see this? It's like, how do you see you like these books and they can't even clearly demonstrate the same thematic material? I could get if they had to change it, if they made choices that either made the story better or like just like condense the time or something like that, but they don't improve the story. They don't make it better. They don't clarify things. They make it worse.
Yeah, I'm truly baffled by this. My God.
This doesn't necessarily relate to any of the things I've talked about, other than the fact that the show is clearly being very famous material.
I cannot believe she's seriously about to say the show is very faithful to the source material.
You want to have a
while
funny story?
showing a scene that the show made up. Like,
Yes, this is so retarded. I was like, I saw the previews for this and I ended up watching a part about this and I had not quite finished the book. And I was like on the last book or something and I'm like, oh my God, is this going to spoil something in the books? Because I don't remember any of this happening. And then, of course, it didn't because it never happened. It literally said she was just on the mountain and that's all it says. Oh my goodness.
right?
Yes.
But I have to give a shout out to the cold open of episode 7.
Plus that just no! Yeah!
My favorite scene, episode.
Oh my God, I hope
Yes.
I'm such a badass. I could totally give birth and like kill 10 guys at the same time. Cause that's just
Right.
the total kind of environment that I would like want to bring my fucking newborn child into. Oh my God.
My sister was so pissed about this, and her exact comment was, leave it to the gay guy to not understand how vaginas work.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
down with that. Like, yeah, this is not how women work. I mean, have you had your cervix dilated? It fucking hurts like Jesus. You're not going to be doing that. And like, come on. Like, what's the freaking morality of like some dude's gonna try to kill a fucking pregnant woman that's giving birth? I mean, come on. Everything about this is wrong. And I'm not even going to talk about how stupid the freaking armor is later on, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, at least we now understand what happened to Rand. He clearly has shaken baby syndrome.
Definitely. Yes, definitely. It's, yeah. He got dropped on his head a few times. It's okay. It
Yeah.
happens.
He got stabbed, too. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Episode 7 was my favorite episode, and this scene was shot so well. that I still can't get over it.
Oh my god, look at this. Here it comes. She's gonna stab him in that shit armor he has.
Or at least a live Aiel. And oh baby, can I not wait
Yeah!
to see
Why?
more of them.
That's why you don't wear freaking leather armor. Whoever made that armor is retarded. I'm sorry.
What is there even to say about this? Like, if you want to compliment like the dynamicism of the the camera work, I guess go off. I guess like, whatever. But that's the only positive thing you can say about this scene. Like, the choreography is terrible. Armor is awful.
Yeah.
Like, the opponents
The logic. Oh
spawn
my
from
goodness.
nowhere. Like, and if this is what one Maiden of the Spear is going to do and against an elite, like, heavily armored knights, the Aiel are going to be, like, unreal cringy. Yeah, also, Pips makes a great point. Put up your fucking veil. Are you an Aiel or are you not? And, put up, you're supposed to be wearing a mask anyway.
I know. like Sophie Turner, the actress that played Sansa, like had a baby during like lockdowns, and she was like going off on people that weren't wearing masks. It's like, I gave birth in a mask. Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. COVID was apparently such a big restriction that given the choice between being safe about COVID and going against the lore, they chose to do both.
Yeah, I mean, you could have, it's like you think the one time where the lore actually melds up with their, like, kind of ideas, they would actually have them be that way, but nope.
Yeah, right. That's what we did here.
Future seasons. So what I'm saying is, what the Wheel of Time could have done right, it did right. It was faced with...
I gotta stop pausing for these because I this is just clearly a clown world. Like,
It is like, oh, what it could do right, it did do right. No, it's just like, this is like, it's like that meme where it's like somebody is like eating dinner and somebody's like gonna take a shit on their plate and they're like, how do you know it's gonna be bad? You haven't tasted it yet. Like, come on. This isn't even like the same story.
No, it's really not.
But it still gave us a story that was exciting almost throughout, I'd say.
It was almost exciting throughout. There were those boring parts in the middle that were tough to get through, but it was almost exciting
the
throughout.
only enjoyment like I had was watching it, getting shit-faced with you guys and like talking crap about it. That's the only fun I've had with some friends I made along the way. Thank you very much, Alex.
Right? I just between it's salvageable and it was almost exciting throughout. Like,
yes,
even she doesn't like
compelling. It was beautiful. I didn't even mention the soundtrack, but OMG, it was incredible. Acting.
OMG, it was incredible. Dude, oh my god. How is it incredible?
Right.
It's like, it's funny because it's like if she felt like there was something that was really amazing, like you can usually pick out like a song or maybe like a specific moment with the character where this person did a good job acting, but she just is like, it was amazeballs, guys. Like, OMG, like, come on. Try harder.
Right? I mean, like, seriously, at best, like, if I am struggling, I could call the soundtrack unremarkable. Like, there's nothing
at
good
best
or
it was
bad about
unnoticeable.
Really...
Like, at worst it was a distraction.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Great. The pacing was great, in my opinion. I never got bored.
Didn't she just say that it was almost exciting throughout?
Yeah.
But then she just said, like...
okay,
yeah. She never got bored. And you know what, Pips? You are 100% correct. I apologize. The throat singing was bad.
It was bad.
That does knock the... yep, that does knock the soundtrack down to below average.
Yes.
Man.
I love the characters and recognize them from what I read on the page, and I hope that anyone who hasn't yet watched the show watches it, either because they want something to watch after Rings of Power ended, or whatever other reason brings them into it, I want them to watch it. Everybody should try to watch The Wheel of Time if there's any way you might enjoy a fantasy series, especially if you haven't found a fantasy series that you liked because you didn't find anyone that you could relate to in it. Because The Wheel of Time has relatable characters, some of the best characters I've ever read in spades. I hope this helped. I like being positive. I like to like things.
I like to like things. I want to like things too. But like as somebody that was trained as a writer, as like a freaking literature major, it's like, this isn't good work. I'm not going to like it just for the sake of liking something. I am not going to be like fake nice and fake positive when there isn't something good to talk about. Like, you know, you can't just say like, I don't want to be negative like these other people because we have legitimate criticism. It's like, I don't care about this lady. Like, I don't know her. Like, I don't care. Like the things I'm saying is just response to what she is saying about the show. Like, I don't, like, it's not like personal, but like these people think like, oh, this is bad. It's a personal attack on me because I like this. Like, no, that's like 3-year-old thinking.
Oh, it absolutely is 3-year-old thinking, and that's also how we know she thinks.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't be watching this video if, you know, she hadn't taken it personally that man-carrying things said bad things about the show.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not...
that's why we're watching this.
Yep.
Thumb Marilyn in the chat is absolutely right. Like, you can't make yourself like something. You either do or you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And to try and claim otherwise, I think, is just lying to yourself.
I don't like to hate things, and I don't think it's productive. So I hope in the sea.
Okay, I know we're almost done with this video, but do the fucking jump cuts bother the shit out of anybody else? Like, she can't go 3 sentences without getting stuck and having to cut the video, and it's driving me insane. Like,
I'm
how do
just
you get up
watching
in
a
front of a
cat
camera?
at this point.
Right? Like, I mean, how do you get in front of a camera every week and speak sentences and not be able to string 3 together without having to do a jump cut? Like, I don't understand this.
I don't know.
Negative videos that you run into on YouTube, you find this one and find it to be refreshingly positive. Agni says thanks for watching, and thank you to
Agni says he doesn't want to be held anymore. I speak cat.
All of you are in the description. Look
at his
video,
face.
if you want to join that group of the
Dude, that cat is pissed.
He's like, put me down.
Yeah, a couple seconds ago, the cat yawned while she was talking, and that was the most relatable thing I've seen in this video.
We're all the cat in this video. We're all like, lady, like, you don't understand. Just put it down. Just say that it's not good, and you really weren't that happy with it, and maybe you like some things, but the reality is this show wasn't that good, and we all know it.
Yeah, I 100%.
Named individuals, hop into my Patreon and become a patron. There is a link in the description of this video. Thanks again for listening. Until next time. Bye!